Hey there, Cash Leads. Welcome to the Speak Your Way to Cash podcast, the top podcast for service-based business owners like you who are ready to sell more services and land 5- and 6-figure corporate, coaching, and consulting contracts. I'm your host, Ashley Kirkwood, and I went from $100 contracts to 6-figure contracts to now running a multi-million-dollar sales coaching firm with my husband. We call our company Speak Your Way to Cash. If you're looking to grow your business with your expertise, this podcast will be your ultimate guide to growing your business, attracting high-paying clients, mastering the art of sales, and persuasive speaking. Each episode on the Speak Your Way to Cash podcast dives deep into the world of sales, marketing, and the operations it takes to grow and scale a service-based business. Get ready to get into this episode and share your thoughts in the free Speak Your Way to Cash Facebook group. I'll see you there. Listen in.
High, excuses, low. Energy, high, excuses, low. Energy, high, excuses, low. Energy.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Speak Your Way to Cash show. We have with us today Drew Nicole, the stylist extraordinaire, my stylist, okay, and just an incredible person. Drew, welcome to the Speak Your Way to Cash show.
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited to be here. This is my first time on a podcast in this fashion, so I'm very excited.
Which is incredible to me because you help so many people get in front of the camera and look and feel their best.
Yeah.
So welcome into the
Thank
spotlight.
you. Thank you. Oh,
hello.
That's new for me.
Yes, like one of the things I was telling Drew this before we started, I really want to expose our community of cash leads to real experts. Yeah. Whether they are influencers or not, whether they are celebrities yet or not, like my goal is to bring people on the show with substance and style.
Okay,
so you are,
style?
Yes, we like to put style on top of substance.
I love this.
Not substance as a facade for style.
Okay, I'm with it. 1,000%. I'm with it, yes.
Yes, so tell everyone what you do and how you got your start.
Yes, so my name is Drew Nicole. I am a image curator and stylist for high-performing CEOs and women and men who are just ready for a complete transformation over their entire wardrobe. I got my start really about 15 years ago. In retail, I was doing visual merchandising. I was a visual merchandising manager. And I also interned for a stylist here in Atlanta at the time. And there, I got a taste of what celebrity styling was, but quickly learned that would not be my lane, just because I enjoy really getting to know my clients and boundaries. I have boundaries. So I decided to take on the lane of personal styling. And with personal styling, I have gotten to know my clients, love on my clients, learn about their business, their families, their audience, and really style them from a more holistic approach. So it's an ongoing transformation when I'm working with someone.
I like that. And now, we have a lot of speakers in the audience, experts, entrepreneurs, and people who are just building their brand. We have people watching right now who the only time they will speak will be on a live video, on a Zoom, or when they're creating content. Mm-hmm. Do you feel that every business owner, every leader needs to pay attention to their style?
Absolutely. How you dress is how people approach you. So when you walk into the room, the goal really is to kind of shut it down at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You want to be noticed. You want people to take notice of you and say, I know that he or she has something to talk about and I need to listen. When you are looking your best and feeling your best, it also translates, and that translates on stage, behind the camera, any kind of way. When you feel good about yourself, you look good, the money and everything else starts rolling in. So it's very important to dress, not just dress for success, but dress for your authentic self as well. Because when you're authentic to yourself, your audience resonates, and it's a lot easier for them to connect with you and flow better.
I like that. Now, one of the things that happened for me in the pandemic, and I don't know if anyone else can relate, let me know in the comments. But one of the things that happened for me was I did pageants. My mom is incredibly stylish. It was always a big part of my life. But during that pandemic, baby, all I looked like was bonnet, sweats, like
T-shirts,
I wasn't going
leggings.
nowhere. If I did get dressed, it wasn't never gonna be from nothing but the waist up. Like
Yeah.
it was pajama pants on bottoms all the time. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So I feel like I lost a bit of that style. What would you say to the person who's watching who wants to rediscover style?
Start with where you are right now. Like really dig deep within yourself. Figure out who you are right now as a person. Go back to your business, what it is that you enjoy in your life. What do you do outside of work with your family? Really get to know who you are if you're not sure who you are. Really dig deep and get to know and understand who you are and begin to shop more with a purpose and style more with a purpose. You'll eventually begin to find your authentic feel and your authentic style. Anything that makes you feel good, like colors, patterns. Colors are a proven thing that really does uplift your spirit and your mood. So diving into colors, diving into more patterns, getting funky with the silhouettes and the styles, like just enjoy yourself. Style is not supposed to be literal. You're not supposed to look like everyone else. You're supposed to go through your own authentic journey when it comes to style.
What's the number one reason you feel like people who should hire a stylist don't?
I think that they are afraid to have that come to Jesus moment with themselves about where they are. They're maybe embarrassed about where they are, maybe not really happy or comfortable in the skin that they're in currently. But my advice is always to dress where you are now. And you can work on yourself as the style transformation continues. But stepping outside of your comfort zone to allow a styling expert to come in and help you is just a way to assist and help with your confidence and your overall transformation and just really helping you learn and understand your specific body type.
So that's good. That's really good. Because one of the things that I discovered, so I don't know so basically, y'all can go back and look at my videos from like 2018, 2019, 2020, and then just check out a video from recently. It's a big difference in how I show up now than how I showed up in the past. I am a saleswoman. Like I love numbers. I like sales. That's why we have the Speaker Ready Cash community and the mastermind. I did not though realize the connection between how I showed up and the money that showed up.
That's good.
And I feel like for a lot of business owners, we're so focused on bottom line, numbers, dollars, cents, impact, that we feel like there's a disconnect between the income and impact and image. And there's not. Like, there's not a disconnect. Like, when we improved our image, our income went up. When we improved our image, our influence went up and our impact went up. And what was so interesting is that more women started to be like, hey, who's your stylist? Hey, you've been looking better. I want to look better. Like, I want to feel better. You look more confident on camera. Is it helping you to do that? And it absolutely was. But we had a video that went viral, and it was solely, first off, my virality only happened after Speaker Ready Cash Live 2022, which you dressed me down for, number one. Those videos, I made sure my content was great, so substance was there. But I think I know that the style had a huge impact on those videos going viral.
Which outfit was it?
Man, the first one that went viral, because we've had like 6 or 7 of them that went viral. Yep, the black and white sequence, the blue jean earrings with the blue jean jumpsuit. What was the other one that went viral?
The white suit with the fur.
The white suit with the fur definitely had a viral video on that one.
Oh, the pink dress with the fur.
The pink dress, those pink sequins, pink and orange sequins. So, but like literally these images are the images where I went viral in a video, and I realized it wasn't just the substance. It was the style on top of the substance that allowed my audience to actually see.
Yeah. Well, style is visual too. So when someone sees you looking good, they're going to stop for a second. And then they might press that little icon at the bottom to make the sound come up.
Yep.
And listen. So style is the first thing that people will see. And I like to tell people that it's your first introduction to anyone. Before you open your mouth, they're going to see the way that you look first and whether or not they want to have a conversation with you. So it definitely does make an impact and super important.
It makes a huge impact. And I want to say this because I know there's a lot of women watching that are like, oh my gosh, are they perpetuating a particular beauty standard and blah, 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 blah. My style is the way I am because my personality is big hair, glam down to whatever, like fly outfits, sequins, jewelry. Like that's me. But what would you say to someone who's like, oh, that's just not my style. Like, I don't want to dress up like that. Like, is there a lane for different, like, is there a lane for that? Like, what is that? Does
absolutely.
That matter?
Your style is not for everybody. It's not supposed to be for everybody.
Right.
So my job as a personal stylist is to get to know you and your personality and then dress for that. And then slowly ease you into more, if you want to, go into more eccentric things. So I'm not going to essentially throw you over the edge right away. We're going to baby step this and walk it out together and then learn your style together. And eventually it's just going to come and flow easy.
That's good. Because I don't want y'all to think that I'm like, you better go get your hair and makeup done. You better hire a makeup artist and fly them in and fly your hairstylist in. Shout out to Precious, because I do be doing that. And shout out to Brittany, who's here, and Yogi, who's in Atlanta. But like, I invest in it because those are things that I really enjoy. But you got to find what you enjoy. And I think that there's beauty in discovering what you like. Absolutely. And there's beauty in discovering like, oh, that's me. Like, I really like that outfit. But the confidence, I've always felt confident, but I feel even more confident, like when I am well put together, and that's just not a distraction for me anymore.
Well, because we are dressing you for your body type. Yes. So I've learned what Ashley's specific body type is, and now I dress you based off of those styles and silhouettes that will work for you. So that's another key component when it comes to finding your style, is really understanding your body type and how to dress the certain silhouettes against that.
Yeah. And for speakers, let me just say, y'all, be careful, because them lights on stage are bright. Yeah. So you have to have like the right undergarments, the right this. Like, I am a big proponent, if you can, ask the organizer what's going to be the lighting. Yes. Is it going to be white light? Is it going to be harsh light? Is it going to come right directly on top of me? Where is the lighting located? Send me pictures of the lighting setup. If you have pictures from speakers last year, send me pictures of them on stage so that I can kind of see what's going on. Another thing that we learned is material. Yes. So like what material the seats will be if I'm doing a panel, making sure I'm not sliding off. The weight of earrings is another big one. Apparently, with the mic, how you hold the certain mics that you use. There are so many different things that go into dressing a speaker or dressing you for your event or your virtual event. All of that matters, like camera angles, the type of camera that's being used, the lighting. You just have to really be very aware of the type of materials, the type of jewelry, whatever it is. You just really have to be aware of those pieces so that it does not interfere with your message and distract you, but it also doesn't interfere and distract the audience, because they're going to see and feel you being uncomfortable when you're on stage, and they're going to be like, oh, that's out of place, or and they're not going to be listening to your message. Nope. And you won't be able to listen to your intuition. Correct. So one of the things I will never do is, if an outfit doesn't work for me to go on stage, I will change outfits before I'll change my stage presentation. She does. Like, I will literally need, because I have crawled out of jails on stage. I get busy, okay? And so I want to feel so free on that stage that I could do anything. If I feel like I can do a backflip, I want to be able to do a backflip. I don't care if it's heels on or not. I will take my shoes off and switch. Like, all of the, like, you need to be as comfortable as you need to be in order to impact your audience. But your image, at least for me, maybe y'all are better than me, okay, child, but like, image distracts me from hearing intuition. If it's like an earring that's about to fall off, if it's like, I will literally take it off. Like we just saw Sarah Jakes. Yes, taking off her wig. Or we have had times where you kicked off your shoes because they're not like, I love that you were so intuitive with yourself and on stage that you don't mind releasing some of that. Some people will stay on stage and be completely uncomfortable, and it will show. It will show on the face, on their body language, on everything. And that eventually distracts the audience that you're speaking to. Yep. And it distracts your money. Yeah. Because if you cannot show up and do your best work in any arena, if you can't do it on a live video, if you can't do it on a webinar, if you can't do it anywhere, you will not be able to convert an audience. Yes. And when I say convert an audience, I mean either into raving fans or into clients. Like, you have to be able to convert that audience. And so one of the things I've talked to you about, like, even as now it's like, I'm your client, you're my client. One of the things I talk to you about is like making sure you help people draw that connection between income, impact, and influence and image. Because like it's all so tied together. And I didn't always realize that. Hey, Cash Leads, I know you're enjoying this episode, but do you have your ticket for Speak Your Way to Cash Live? If not, stop what you're doing right now. Go to speakyourwaytocashlive.com and get your tickets. I'm going to give you a sneak peek of what the event is all about. When I was in that $300,000 a year job, I was like, oh, well, if they paying me $3, I got to be worth millions. If you believe it'll transform people, your primary obligation has to be to sell them your stuff.
I say it every time we come to Speak Your Way to Cash events. This has been the event of our lifetime.
This year's Speak Your Way to Cash Live class is aiming to surpass the amount of money that last year's Speak Your Way to Cash Live class made after the event. This is the number that was reported for our 7th year, $711,000.
Within a month, I was up there doing a live training for her, and it was a 5-figure live training. 2 more 5-figure contracts came out of that deal.
Allowed me to reach and get my first contract last year right after the event.
I came here and made the investment, and just today, someone in that room heard what I said and provided me with an opportunity. So you cannot miss this.
Invest in yourself to attend Speak Your Way to Cash Live.
And it takes a minute for someone to understand that image is just as important as impact and influence, because it's looked at as an unnecessary expense. But a lot of people don't realize that a lot of what your wardrobe, especially if you're buying it for your business, it's a tax write-off. So you can do that, but it is also something that will eventually help your income. It will help your influence, your audience. It will gain those followers. It will get those eyes and that engagement that you're looking for because you look good and you feel good and it's translating on camera.
Yeah, and like I didn't even realize the way, because I was talking to my accountant, and like just the way that, like there are some people who will brand everything. And I'd always be like, why are they branding everything? Like what's the point of like having your logo on your outfits, having your tagline on your back, having all these different things? And it's like, oh, well, that is promotional.
Yeah.
And it's promotional even, I mean, not per the IRS. This is not tax advice, you guys.
Correct.
Talk to your accountant.
Not tax advice.
But like, it's promotional anyways, but it's not always a tax write-off unless the promotion is done in a certain way.
Correct.
With the outfit.
Correct.
So I definitely think I think that sometimes we just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Like we just don't always know.
And it's not something that our community and culture is really exposed to. Like this is the norm.
Like stylists for celebrities. Like
Yeah.
I thought that.
Yeah, yes. That is always the mindset. It's always, you have to be this top person. You have to have this amount of income in order to have a personal stylist. No, it's you start where you are and we go from there.
I love that. I really love that. Now, you mentioned you don't work with celebrities anymore, or at least currently.
Currently.
Well, I guess, yes.
You are low-key celebrity, actually.
Right. Like, we're working on it. So, but you do work with some of the most influential women in the professional services space.
Yeah.
So how do you, there's people watching who are like, man, I've seen your client roster. You got, top coaches, top influencers, top experts, top event hosts. How were you able to attract that audience? I know we're working on this pitching thing, but how were you able to attract and retain those clients on a monthly basis? Because you have retainer clients.
Yeah, pretty much all of my clients are our retainer.
Yes, that's a win.
Definitely a win. Definitely grateful for that. In the beginning, when I first started my business 2 years ago, it was literally me posting. Like I was crazy, posting 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times a day, doing the hashtags, all the things. And eventually like women started to find me. And I also received referrals, people word of mouth. Like a really good friend of mine referred me to a current client of mine, and she's been with me since the very beginning. And from there, it's really just been word of mouth. Thank God. And from time to time, I'll go online and I'll post what I have coming up, and that draws in more interest. But for the most part, a lot of my referrals have been word of mouth.
And you didn't even facilitate the word of mouth. Mm-hmm. Like it literally happened organically, but it was because your work was so good.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
No, yes. It is. I mean, because a lot of people hear that and they're like, great, I knew I didn't have to post and do this and reach out. And it's like, no.
How did you find me?
Referral. Yep, referral. A friend of mine was like, "Oh, this is who I use." Like, shout out to Monray, because literally it was like when I moved to Atlanta, she was like, "What you need?" Like, she was literally the plug. She was like, "Oh, you need this? Okay, this you go to this. You go to this." So we didn't have to look for a whole lot of extra support. But yeah, she literally referred me to you, and then I know I referred you to a friend of mine. I know other people. Like, I literally could see the referral network working.
Yeah.
But I always, and your work really is good, and it's very collaborative. So you do have to you have to be trained. I think one of the challenges that you may have that I'd love for you to speak to, just because there's lots of other businesses who feel like my business is one that I have to educate before they can buy effectively and be good clients. How has that been? Like, educating your clients on what a styling relationship looks like so that you can maintain a long-term relationship with your clients?
Well, when I am talking to a potential client, I like to kind of go down and explain what working with me would look like, because I do take the personal styling very seriously. I want to really get to know my client and understand them and their business, and that has helped me to build a consistent relationship with them and keep them on as clients. But starting off, like, getting to really getting them to understand exactly what it is I do. Because some people actually do come on the call and just be blind. They just think that, it's just all about buying clothes and that's it. It's it's deeper than that. It's that education in the beginning with telling them what a stylist does, how I will be there to facilitate through their pain points. I want to let them know and feel that wardrobe is not an issue when it comes to me. I want to be able to take on that entire burden for them. So really translating that on the calls and translating that through my work has been helpful with retaining.
And what's your sales process now?
So the sales process, it starts with a call. I like to see exactly who it is I will be potentially working with. So we definitely get on the Zoom call. I want to feel energy. I want to hear what it is that they have going on, if they're excited, if they're not excited, if they're nervous. So I get to see and feel all of that while I'm on the call. And while I'm listening to what it is that they actually need, I'm going through what I have to offer and fitting what would work best for them. And then after that, we get the ball rolling. I set them up on their beautiful online style portal. It's like a little online closet for them that they can go back and refer to. I do a lot of sourcing and putting the looks together there so that we can collaborate with. And then after that, it's just an on-flowing go of the relationship.
That's good. That's really good.
Yeah.
And so for you, what has been the most challenging part about growing your particular business type?
That's a great question. The challenging part for me is wanting to have more clients, but not necessarily the full capacity for it. But learning how to navigate through that to make sure that each client feels that special experience that they get, and then making space and room for someone new. So it can become, I won't say a challenge, it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity. It's more of an opportunity to figure out how exactly to bring on more people and then give them that same experience that everyone is seeking.
But you brought up a really good point, and it's one that I dealt with when we had our law firm, which was more direct. It was done for you services. So how did you determine your capacity? Because I know you have a capacity number. How did you go through that process of determining your capacity? Because I know there's someone watching who is in direct services, personal services, and they're trying to figure out, like, okay, I haven't even made my first 6 figures yet. Drew, how did you go through that process of determining I can take on X amount of clients a month? If we're at this many clients, we're at 50% capacity.
A large part of that was me packaging and my pricing and adding that value into what I am offering. My pricing definitely helped with the capacity portion of it. And now that I'm not at max capacity right now, but getting to the point where I learned for myself how much I could take and what I couldn't take, setting up those boundaries too. Those boundaries are a really big deal. That has also been helpful with me recognizing the capacity. Like I can almost feel when it's burnout time for me. And then I take a step back, and my clients are so gracious and they all understand when I need a break. But setting up those boundaries and also pricing my value has helped me with building that capacity.
Hey, are you a member of the Speak Your Way to Cash family? If so, what's up? Thank you so much for checking out this podcast episode. I would love to give you the first part of the Speak Your Way to Cash book for completely free, instant download. All you have to do is go to the link underneath this video or go to speakyourwaytocashbook.com and download your free copy of the first part of the Speak Your Way to Cash book. Look, it will show you how to start your journey and start landing those 5- and 6-figure contracts. Do not miss this deal. The book is absolutely incredible, and I can't wait to hear how it's helping you speak your way to cash. Okay, so one of the things that I noticed when you joined the Speak Your Way to Cash Mastermind, the first thing I was wondering about was pricing. Because my initial thing was like, okay, I'm a client. It was like this duality.
Yeah, it is.
Because it was like, I'm a client. and I was like, and I know I'd pay more for this. And I was like, we need to talk about pricing.
Yeah.
When you first set your prices, were you anticipating the success that you had?
No.
Because, okay, so then that may have been why the prices were what they were.
Yeah.
Because oftentimes we set our prices based on like, if someone just pays this, I'll be
like, and that's what it was.
Happy.
That's
okay,
exactly
talk about that. In the
that's
evolution.
exactly what it was in the very beginning, because I was very ignorant to the world of this side of styling. Like I've done the celebrity, I know exactly how much their rates are.
Yeah.
But the realm of personal styling, like I wanted to be attractive, but I also wanted to be able to take care of my overhead, take care of my son, so I wanted to make sure I had that. So I started with a little bit just to see, just to test the waters just a little bit. And people were biting. Too many people. And I learned that a lot of these people that were biting were not my ideal client.
So let's talk about, if you remember, how many people, because there's a sales rule about basically how you should raise your prices. So if you talk to 10 people, how many would bite?
About 6.
And they probably just pay on the spot. And that's the thing. So basically the sales rule is that if you have 10 people and you have a 60% or higher, like even like anything above 30% close rate, and they're willing to pay on the spot, it typically means your price is too low. Now, if you have calls with 10 people, 6 of them decide to buy, but all of them ask for like a payment plan or something else, it may mean that your price is just like, if 30% or less are paying in full, then that may mean that your price is good. Like you don't need to raise your price. But if you have 60%, they're like, yeah, cool, first payment, that may mean you need to raise your price. And sometimes we set our prices based on it not working out versus on it actually working out.
Yes. And my prices were low at that time, and I was doing all the things.
What were they back in the day?
Oh my gosh, I might be a little embarrassed to share.
Oh, everyone's has. I used to have a $30 a month coaching program.
Well, it used to be about $250.
And what would they get?
Everything.
So like the same package like I'm on. They would get, How long were the prices there?
Well, once I joined a coaching program and realized that I was playing myself in my whole life, it wasn't there that long. Like I got in and saw that I was heavily undervaluing myself, and I was working way harder than I was at my 9 to 5, trying to please the clients that signed up. And I realized that I had to make a change quickly. Like I had to make this worthwhile.
Are any of those clients still working with you?
No.
So it also meant that there was like a targeting issue there too. But what's so interesting is, and I think sometimes people say, my prices used to be so low, now my prices are higher, I don't have any of the same clients. And that's not my testimony. I had the right targeting. I just wasn't allowing them to pay me more. Because the $30 a month, we still got someone in our mastermind now who was in that program.
Wow.
When our event was $300 a month, like half of those people still come to our events now.
That's awesome.
It was the right messaging. It was literally just me not giving them the chance to come up.
Yeah. And when I realized how much I was undervaluing myself and that I was not actually reaching the clientele, my messaging and everything just completely did a 180 and it just shifted.
What was your messaging? What is your messaging now?
My messaging back then was, hi, I'm a stylist here in Atlanta. If you're interested, please reach out to me. Now it's more specific. I work with high-performing CEOs and experts in their fields that are 7+ figure earners, and this is what I do. We're a personal stylist, and I am here to transform your wardrobe and through authenticity.
I like it. Yeah, so you got more specific, called out the audience, explained a little bit about what you do. So there's even some education in there.
Yeah.
And then the person who fits that bill, like any 7-figure CEO is watching this right now, like she's your stylist,
Yes,
right? So
absolutely. I'm your girl.
So she's your stylist. Now, what about someone who's watching and they're like, well, I make $300,000-$400,000. I'm going to start getting on the speaking scene. I want to do more content. Because we use styling not just for big events, but like if I'm going on a show, if I'm going on a podcast, all of that. So what would you say to that person? Are they not ready for a stylist yet? Or
no, it's not that they're not ready for a stylist. It's not that at all. It's really, you just have to start from the beginning. So I suggest to really cleanse your closet. I like to call mine a closet alignment. You cleanse your closet. You remove all of those pieces that are no longer serving you or who you are trying to become in the next 3 to 5 years. I like to, in the consult calls that I have, I like to ask potential clients, who do you see yourself as in the next 3 to 5 years? Tell me what she looks like. Tell me what he looks like. Explain what she's wearing. What is he wearing? What are the colors? What do you feel like? Like, I want them to feel themselves in that new space when they are explaining to me and talking to me and going through what it is that they want their transformation to be. So getting down to the nitty gritty of getting rid of that old stuff from your closet and sitting with the person that you are now and starting there, learning your body type, shopping with a purpose. When you learn your body type, you will then shop with a purpose because you're not just wasting money on things that you see on the mannequin or something that's really nicely merchandised on the table. That's how retail stores get you. You buy all the nice, pretty laid out things, and then you go home and you try it on and it doesn't fit you and you are upset and you don't have time to return anything. So it just sits there and now it's outside of the return window and you wasted money at the end of the day and you're sitting there frustrated in your closet for another 30, 45 minutes trying to figure out what to wear. So starting from the very beginning, telling yourself or seeing yourself as your future self, and going through and pulling and buying pieces for that woman or that man and starting from there.
I love it. I love it. So one of the things we do on the show is we have a segment called Act Your Way to Cash, which is literally where I want you to give the audience something they can do in the next 24 hours to generate revenue in their business based on your expertise.
Oh my God.
So is there like a quick hack they can do, a quick cleanse, something that will help them feel more refreshed in their videos, anything like that?
Act your way to cash. I thought when you said act your way to cash, I thought you meant like literally we're about to act.
No. Take action, get cash.
I would start with the closet alignment for sure, because when you get rid of all of those old pieces, you start to feel lighter. I like to tell clients that when we are removing old pieces from their wardrobe, to give those old pieces thanks for where it was in their life, and then make room and space for those new pieces of who you are becoming. So starting there, creating a budget, something small for yourself, creating a budget where you can go shop. You can shop within your means. You don't have to do the Gucci's and the Fendi's and all that other stuff, honey. You can wear some beautiful pieces of great quality for amazing prices. It just takes some hunting. But starting there, cleaning out the closet and shopping for something a little bit more on the realm of who you are becoming.
I love that. I love that.
So act your way to cash.
Yes, act your way to cash. Okay, Drew, let them know where they can find you. If they're interested in styling, how can they reach out? Give them all your details. Yes,
so you can find me on Instagram at Curated by Drew. I also have my website, curatedimagedesign.com. And I live on Instagram, honestly. I live on Instagram or my website.
Love it, love it, love it. Well, thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for being an amazing person. Thank you for being my stylist.
Thank you for
having
me as
really
your
helped.
stylist.
Yes, of course. It has helped a lot, and I just really enjoy working with you, and I'm always excited to introduce our community of cash leads to another amazing cash lead who is just changing the game and helping women feel more comfortable about who they are.
Thank you. That means a lot. I appreciate it, seriously.
Absolutely.
I love working with you, and thank you for trusting me with your image and style. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. All right, guys, another awesome episode of the Speak Your Way to Cash Show. If you would like to share this episode, please do leave us a comment, like, review, download it on Apple Podcasts, watch it on YouTube. Share it with a friend. And until next time, keep the energy high and the excuses low. And we'll see you next time on the show.
Energy high, excuses low. Energy high, excuses low. Energy high, excuses low. Energy high.